And good day. This is your Sensei Al Bob coming to you on your Dreamy Dreamland station. And this will be about an hour. I have a doctor's appointment. um, Came into town to see my doc and talk to you guys. Look what's going on in the world around me. And I went and looked at John's channel. And and John basically rifled, I've still got a lot of stuff at the school, right? Because I got no money to move it, no place to put it. And I sing there, not all the time, enough. And he's now starting to go through my stuff and taking out my most personal things and showing them on his channel and making stories about them. Now, he opened up a magic box, and it's like you don't play with things that you don't know about. And he's taken a picture of my great-grandparents and put it on his channel and told a story about it, And I want you all to go take a look at it, and it's
Hi, baby. You come see me. Okay?
It's like could always be worse, but thank you, dear. But didn't talk to me about it, didn't ask me about it, any of the above. And it's more, John has no idea what he's playing with. Me, I love the guy. He's my friend. That's why I'm seriously worrying about him. His mental state. It's never good to be all alone. Human beings are meant to interact with each other. That's why I go out and about. That's kind of why I do these live chats. Because I interact with you guys. But it's really heart-wrenching. It makes me so sad to see John take my personal artifacts and basically, what's the right word? Treat them with no respect, basically, I don't like to use expletives, but that's kind of what he's doing, and that John is, feeling negative about me after all the time I put into trying to help him and be there for him, and that's a pure sign of nihilism, and also a person who at the same time is self-loathing. Yeah, but he just put one up the other day where he went through my stuff and found the most sacred things I had and opened them up and took the stuff out. He's got documents there of mine. My birth certificate, other things. He's got pictures of my grandparents. He's gone through all, and he really had to go through a lot of stuff to find that stuff because I couldn't even find it. And maybe it's good. Now we found it. Now I know where it is, And but it hurts me right here. I don't know whether it's the coughing I've been doing, but it's unbelievable. It just, it shows how little respect he has for anything. If he can do that he made a really nice video of his grandparents' record. Now, John has, his own backstory that is quite amazing. He never talks about that. He should, if he wants to talk about stories, he should, because, that one he did about his record, I commented how sweet and nice it was. But then this thing came up and it was like, you got to be kidding me, And it's like he gave it no thought. He didn't even think about it. And this is, it's kind of like, this is something he did with me. But look at Donald Trump. John Birmingham and Donald Trump are like the one same guy. They represent the same thing. You know. Well, if you spend that much time, I live out in the middle of the forest, right? But I come in and see people 3 or 4 times a week. People come visit me because they want to talk about what's going on in their life. And I don't throw them under the bus or scream at them to get out. Oh, leave me alone. No, I'm happy to see them. I make them a cup of tea. We sit down out in the woods and we talk. So human beings are meant to interact with each other. Yes, human beings can be annoying and you don't want to be around them, but still, we're meant to be with them, right? And we're not meant to, you know, oh, you're my only one, and then fixate. No, we're supposed to be, all our relations. We're there for everybody. Every way and every day we're there, right? And that's the problem with John. He's up there by himself, and he's living in his own mind, and see, the thing is, the hill, the school, it's a sacred place. It's a doorway. And when you ignore it or when you disrespect it, ooh, it's not it's not a happy thing. So I was going to talk about a whole bunch of things, but after seeing that, it's like, oh, it just gets me right here. Especially after I spent 3 years trying to help him get a life, and all he can do is, oh, it costs me money, oh, blah, blah, blah. And he, it's pretty obvious when he went and took my stuff and then used it as a storyline for himself, and he made up, please. But those were all sacred artifacts, a sacred pagan. He's got my birth certificate, and I don't have it, and I can't get one. I mean, to get one, I'd have to, I don't have the money, don't have, access, and on and above. And he opens up my mail, meaning I've stopped mail going there, but every so often something shows up, and he opens it up. That's a federal offense right there, right? And he tries to, oh, you. It's mind-boggling. It really is. John just needs to get a life, but he hasn't. He's never had a life. He tries to make something. Now, it's one thing. I know a lot of actors, a lot of people who've gotten someplace, but they never stop being themselves. And one reason why they're authentic, why they're real, why they're popular, why they're all the above, is because they are who they are, right? Not trying to be something else, right? Oh, let's see. When you say a doorway, can you explain it? Yep, I can. Come. That whole ridge above our house was where the Cherokee, a group of Cherokee would come, and that was their ceremonial spot, you know. And my dog actually found it. I bought the place basically because Inga needed some money, and I had it. And so instead of paying taxes on it, I bought the school. I didn't need the school, but it was Inga's school. So, and the money I gave her was like I paid her probably 40, 50 grand more than I could have, because the county said it was worth this, and I paid that, right? Because that's what she needed, and I had it, and so I gave it to her, right? And so, and that was very nice because for the next 4 or 5 years of her life, she about 6 years of her life, she was set. She had that as her her pillow, and so she didn't have to worry about paying the bills, right? So when I went up there, I just kind of moved my stuff. It became my warehouse, more or less, and because I had another place, two other places, Deep Green and a place down in Florida. And my work took me everywhere, and I was living in the pool of chocolate mousse, and all was right in the world. But the next summer, I came back and I spent some time, and I walked up that hill, and my dog found the path. I mean, it was a forest, right? And she went up, and I had a rake, and I just followed behind her, and oh, look, this is a path. And we came to a place where there was a kitchen, and I found a bunch of artifacts in the ground, like arrowheads, but more. And then I realized this was this because whenever you have a sacramental place, you have a kitchen, right? So and then I found a fire pit, and I found a number of, it's a hill like that, and I found all these campsites, right? I said, oh, look at that, and I came with the idea of having my mystic school there, and I came, and there's right above, the school is here, Valhalla is here, the path goes, the A-frame's here, path goes up here. Over here, there is where the holler goes down. There's a stack of big stones that look like they're the size of school buses. And underneath it, and John has a video of the cave, right? It's a little hole, about that big. You could squeeze, when I was thin, I could squeeze myself. But the thing is, you sit on the outside, you meditate, and you go within, and you go down into the earth. And so right there is a doorway to a whole nother universe, right? And John's sitting right on top of it. The school is on top of a gigantic big stone, right? And it's not going nowhere. And, so that school is a vibratorial tuning fork. And unless you respect it, it'll either be null, bring you or it will bring, disharmony. Or if you are in tune with it, it'll bring harmony. So I tuned myself to it, and, it brought me harmony. But pretty much the rest of the people who live up on that hill are, they have issues, every single one of them, with anger, substance, you name it. And that's one reason why I stayed with John, because I wasn't just going to, sell the place and leave him adrift up there in this sea of psychic energy. I tried to show him what it was and how it worked, and all of the above. And so John, by doing everything he's done to the school, especially if you guys go look at the videos he shows of him painting the floor, he's basically, remember how we do the elimination of your, id before you go into your Akashic record? Well, he splattered it all over the floor. I mean, it's all covered in monsters and creatures. And by him opening that box on that video, those creatures go out of the floor and go into him. Right? It's going to be, and that's because John just thinks about himself. He's, nihilist, and it's all about John. He's got two boys that he won't. It's too hard to be with them. Oh, I can't go to Texas. No, man. You have children. You say goodbye to your personal life. You're always there for them, right?
Okay, so.
And I've seen a lot of parents have that issue, right? And that's usually why parents, it's difficult. It's difficult. It's like, and so anyway, the bottom line of all of this is if John were to take that video down and physically apologize for treating me the way he has, and not go through my stuff, and take care of it, doesn't throw it away, then it'll be okay, right? But if he keeps going through more of my stuff and putting it on the internet, I haven't been up there in the hill. I haven't been in Virginia in 172 days, and I'm probably not going to be up there, and or in Virginia, because I don't have the money to drive there, So, and if anyone wants to send me something at my the dude awake 42 at Gmail, my PayPal, that'd be nice. A few of you have, and I really appreciate that. It really, it's like got me to get the gas to go to the doctors to pay the doctor. So that was really nice of you guys. You know. Yep, it's a vortex. Yep, it really is. I mean, like I said, there's a video of it on John's channel, right? And it's hard to do a guided meditation with you guys, like from any one of these restaurants I hang out in, because there's people talking and energy all around. It's kind of hard, right? So, exactly. Candace says when he's living in a place like that, a vortex, he should concentrate on putting out loving energy. Otherwise, if he's weak-willed, and he sure is, those energies will latch on to him and manipulate his energy. Yep. And all you got to do is, look at his YouTube channel. Hey there, Jane, Candace. Yep. And so, the thing about the hill is that it's a very loving place. Like I said, it'll kind of give you whatever you want. I mean, it doesn't really go out and get you unless you want to be gotten, because there were a lot of people up in that hill who, like I said, got into really negative spaces and let things latch onto them because they let it. They didn't. I mean, I had that place for about, let's see, from 06 to 05 to 2015, right? So 10 years, 10 or 12 years I was up there. So, I didn't spend a lot of, I didn't, 2 or 3 months a year I spent there. And when I was there, I was always in a very sacramental, offering state of mind. And the potential is there unlimited. It's true. But, the potential on Earth is unlimited. I was talking to a friend the other day about, he's, one of my friends who's, you're desperate, well, a lawyer, well-to-do. Well, actually, he's a really great lawyer, and that he could make a lot more money than he does because he's really, but he helps people, right? Anyway, so he sees the darker side of things. And I mean, right in front of him, not in him, but right in front of him. And, he's basically, saying, humanity's toast. Well, I'm amazed humanity's still here. But I was saying, humanity right now is doing all the worst things it could do. But there's a lot of positive potential. What we need to be is that pebble in the pond. And I saw that in John Birmingham, positive potential, and that's why I spent as much time as I did, and I mean, even though he threw me under the bus 32 times, meaning when I say throw me under the bus, he said, well, you can stay here forever, right? I'd be there. And, we get anxious about something, and then it's the easiest person to take it out on, and he'd throw me out. Extraordinarily great would occur. I would have a great adventure, and I meet other new people because I wasn't with John, right? In 172 days, and I've been away from the schools this spring, summer, and fall. have been great. I've met great people, done great things, helped a lot of folk, right? And well, Robinson, there's not much I can do about it. And it's not stealing my stuff. It's just stuff. And it's sad that he zoomed in on the most, sacramental and special things to me. Um, and part of it was because, when I stuck all this stuff in Valhalla, he was like, get it out of here. So I couldn't really go through it all. And he, it shows the level of John's psychic abilities or sensitivities, which I've kind of appreciated, understood, and hoped could bring up the positive side of. And, maybe it still can. I basically never give up hope. Hope is the mainstay of faith. So I have hope in John. But, he texted me the other day saying, he won't talk on the phone because I get him to express himself when we talk, and and I tell him things that he needs to know, but like, hey, get a life, forget about Danica, focus on your boys, go there and take care of them, and you'll have a good life. And he doesn't want to do that because it's hard. Oh, it's so difficult. Oh, so so he goes through my stuff and picks out that stuff. And he went straight to that was a magic box that was given to me by the old crow. And this guy goes straight to it. It's pretty amazing. And, ceremonially, I put things in there to protect them. And he has no idea what they are or. And there was a bug crawling around in there. And he said, I've never seen a bug like that. And it's an Egyptian scarab, meaning I don't know what kind of bug it is, but I had a little piece of jewelry in there. And I didn't see the jewelry, but I saw the bug, and that bug kind of looks like it. But the Egyptian scarab is much bigger than that bug. So it's, and that stuff has been out in the wilds of his backyard for the last 3 years. So yeah, I'm sure there's bugs in there. But since that other piece of jewelry is not in there, either we took it because it's relatively valuable, but not like really valuable. So like from each, it's like a copy of a copy of a copy of a copy. But, when you endure something with a memory, and a meaning and a ceremony, like all these videos I do for you guys, I do a shamanically ceremony. I go into state, I put energy into it, right? Yep, the scarab. Yep. Yeah, exactly. Whoa. So here he is. He opens this thing up and he pulls the stuff up willy-nilly. And he's saying some stupid shit or stupid stuff story. Not good. Yeah, it's painful. Right. So I think the meaning for my sense is that it's a cry for help. It's a thing of self-flagellation. It's a thing of self not deprecation, but self. He just doesn't. He can't stand his life, and so he's doing everything he can to really. So, the bottom line is, I feel sorry for John. And if John were to, take that video off or apologize, he could actually keep that video up there. But as long as he did it one that he apologized for doing that and not, I think he mentioned the same that was my stuff, It's like he found it out in the woods, and he just, exactly. You need to pray for John, and so Y'all might go on his channel and
I would go just to see what it's about, even if it wasn't any.
ask him why he did that. Because it's interesting. All of the people who comment on him are the same. I think it's him. He's commenting himself on himself. And all his videos, I put up comments on all his videos in a very positive sense, but real positive sense. I mean, I speak to what I see in them, what they mean to me. Rather than, oh, they're really cool. Oh, they're cool. Oh, I love the way your hair looks. No, I don't do that. I kind of go on about, what it means, and because the thing about John, him being the canary in the coal mine, everything he does and says has a meaning, has a really interesting spiritual meaning. I mean, that's another reason, why the 3 reasons I'm with him, right? Doctor, do no harm. I tried to bring the best out in the guy, right? Number 2, have a exit strategy and go in to protect the innocents. And I was trying to protect his innocence, right? And to get out. And the third was to don't go in unless you can learn something. And I've learned a tremendous amount from John, about all of the accesses of neuroses. People go, boy, that guy's nuts. Well, John ain't nuts. He's neurotic, but he also suffers PTSD, but so do we all. And I've been working on a motif of how to heal PTSD. And, one of the major things to heal PTSD or anxiety or any, what you want to call it, depression, is you need to sleep. And you need to sleep not with the use of drugs, And that means you need to meditate and to eliminate all the things that. It's a fool's journey. I don't know. I don't give up on friends. I mean, I don't do things that are self-punishing myself, I haven't been up there, for 172 days, And John keeps saying, my father says, he doesn't want you here. Well, it's John's house. His father can't tell him what to do with it. And I know his father would never say, his father doesn't care. His father thinks that I help him, So his father told me, you're the only good friend he's ever had. So I'm sure that's not John. This ain't from John's father, because John wants to always blame somebody else. Again, John represents the, canary in the coal mine, wanting to blame, everything that John does is what we all do. The question is that most of us catch ourselves. Oh, I'm doing that. I won't do that. Stop doing that, And so, let's see. Yeah, shameful that's a good word for it. But it's like, meaning the memories I have can't be besmirched, right? It's shameful because it shames him. It shames John. It shames John's good name. Actually, I looked at it and it showed, all my stuff, right? So what he says about it is like kind of a joke, but the energetics of that picture of my grandparents, that's like, you can't shame that picture. You just look at it and go, wow, right? But it's pretty amazing. And I don't know what more to say about it, except that, again, he's representing the energy of what's going on. It's being amplified, being up at the school and being on that hill. And he has no respect for either the hill, the school, or anything. And so it's like, and it's not like a monster up there. Meaning, oh, you want to act like a jerk? Well, I'll let you be a jerk. Oh, you want to be a drunk? I'll let you be a drunk. You want to be obese and fat and look stupid? Well, go right. That's what that hill will do. It won't go and do anything evil to you. The teacher will go, wah, 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 and Charlie couldn't understand. Well, that's how unless you are in sync with the hill, that's how it hears you. Wah, 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 wah. So it then feels your emotion. Oh, you want to feel okay? I'll make sure you feel that way 1,000%. You know, and pretty much everyone who's ever stayed up on that hill, except for a few people who got in sync with it, that hill has messed with them seriously. The one person who truly understood that hill was Inga. The other person who understood that was George, but George's ego, so that's why his ego was so big because it said, "Oh, you want to have a big ego? No problem." But George actually was a great guy, a good guy, and if you could like navigate him into his better self, he was loads of fun. But everybody else on that hill, messes with them seriously, and it's also the hill of unexpected consequences because unless you're truly you know a Cherokee shaman, in dress, that's why every time I went up there, I would be in respectful dress. I mean, I would make a costume, that was respectful to, to the cave. And so, anyway, um, well, Candace, you can, okay, sounds like a good idea. So this is what we're going to do right now, right here at the IHOP. We're going to go into state, and I'm going to take all 9 of you to the cave, right? Okay, we're going to do it quick too, right? So everyone sit, get comfortable, breathe deep, in 20%, out 30%. Let it all go. Let all of your anxiety, all your hatred, all your fear, eliminate it. Right? Breathe in the prana, illuminate your cells. See the little doorway open up in your cell as it's splitting in the mitochondria, pulling it apart. See in there, and that's the cave. In all of your cells, when the mitochondria splits the cell, mitosis occurs. That's the cave. See it clearly. See it clearly. Right? Close your eyes. See the lightning bolts around that cell. See the RNA zipping open. It opens up. There's the cave. And you're sitting in a forest, right? You're sitting in a forest, and it's beautiful. It's a fall day, warm. The sun is hitting you, and right in front of you is this cave. And it's about that big, and there are stones, sacred stones in front of it. And each stone represents a different mystic journey. Focus on the one that draws you to it and take that journey. And it will bring you through the doorway of the cave, and it will take you into the common room, which is a gigantic space. I mean, hundreds of feet high, thousands of feet in diameter, and it's right underground right there. Right? And it's a path that goes deeper and deeper and deeper into, you know, um, Dante tried to explain it in his comedy. And, why was our hero going down into hell but to go get his love? And so that's what it's about. It's about getting your love. That's what about our whole life is about. Not about getting any individual love or any person, oh, I want to be with that person only. No, it's about love. Love's co-creation. Love that every person you're with, no matter you agree with them, like them, dislike them, you're loving them. Every person, you know. And that's why I was with John Birmingham all those months, is because it was a great gift to give me the ability to love someone who basically does everything he can to negate that, right? So that's like a real gift to be able to assimilate love, even when it's being rejected on that level. Because it wasn't so much being rejected, wasn't, rejected. Yes, I was often the physical representation of that negative. But it was really John hating himself, hating love for him. And I was trying to amplify that love for him, hoping that it would break through, right? Because John's angst is that of a child, and we're all children in this life, we're all not grown ups, and so, we that's why I do these shows to help everyone go on their own individual path, to go into a space where they can appreciate, you know. Sweetie, a little more hot water? Yeah, yeah, yeah. And so, um, so it's, every cave is, Plato made the treatise on the cave because that is what our life is. We are, these avatars, these bags of water are true enlightened um, free-willed soul is ascending, and this life is the challenges, the things to learn how to ascend, and so here we are all at the doorway, and we have picked the stone, and we have gone through the threshold of the cave shamanically, and we've gone into the commons room, and we see the path. I'll sit down in front of that path, cross-legged, and breathe deep, and let your animal totem and your guardian angel and your librarian come to you. And just like the scarecrow, that's the librarian. Scarecrow doesn't have a brain, right? But he's smarter than everybody, right? The cowardly lion, animal totem, right? Has a heart, right? And the tin man is there. It's the guardian angel to guard you, right? Or the lion and the Tin Man are kind of interchangeable between the totem and the guardian angel. And all of your guides are interchangeable, kind of. They're all, librarian, animal totem, and guardian angel are all kind of one creature made in a trinity.
Here you go, Trouble.
Hey, buddy. I signed it, right?
What, honey?
I signed it, right? Okay.
I got it right.
Yeah, good.
I'm speaking like that.
Yeah, well, you always got to check twice,
You know what? It does not hurt. And I appreciate you care.
Yeah. Because my brain is like a sieve often. I can forget about where I put my car keys. Where did I put? Oh, here they are. Anyway. Archetypally speaking, yes. Everything is archetypally speaking. So you're all there sitting in the commons room, archetypically speaking, right? So hear those storylines, right? Let it come to you. In every day and every way, let it take a piece of the earth and make it stronger. Father, put your hand on our shoulder. Increase our territory. Keep us safe from evil. Keep us away from evil. Keep us safe from evil. Keep us from doing evil, so we will do no harm. Now, when we are in service to love's co-creation, we have nothing to worry about. That's why I don't worry about anything. I am as best as I can, 24/7, in service to love's co-creation. That's why I'm not worrying about paying the bills or staying alive or any of those things. I will be, I've died 6 times, so I know what death is about. I'm not scared of it. I know where I'm going after this, and I was sent here to do a certain thing, and I'm doing it. You know. So, thanks, Candace, and all of you adepts. I am here to serve love's co-creation by loving you all. Right, all 340 something of you. So, go get some more people to subscribe to this channel. In your own neighborhood, start a Dreamy Dreamland Sensei Al Bob fan club. I used to have a friend who was really into Mara Baba, and they would, get these tapes from Mayor Baba Central, and they'd all come to their one person's house and watch it on the VCR. And then years later, I had a friend who was into Gangaji, and they did the same thing. Now you don't have to do that. Here it is, YouTube, but you could get more people to watch this. Because then if I get over 1,000, I can go back to using my phone, which is nicer because then I can do it on the fly, right? And I can do it in places where I don't have to worry about the ambiance of the space, So anyway, so that's the report of the day. I've been thinking about the political structures that are going on, all of the wars and all the conflict and what's going on in our country and other countries, and I was going to explain it in a geopolitical, economic, social, shamanic kind of way, but all you got to do is be in the common room of the cave and open your third eye to whatever you need to know. Instead of me going on about stuff, just open your third eye to what you need to know. What do you need to know? See it clearly. It's not my place to tell you what you need to know. It's my place to tell you, these rambling stories that kind of pop that third. Oh, I need to know. Oh, yeah, that, this, that. That's what I'm giving you this kind of smorgasbord of things. And I'm not even telling you need to know this or this or this. No, I'm saying just open your third eye. And the more people who could watch this show, and I bet you I have more than 700 shows already up on my YouTube channel. And that's why I say, shamanically, if you got yourself a dartboard and threw darts at it, and you would get 3 numbers, or you got it in 110, go look at show 110. You got 0, throw another dart. And if you got 22, then it's 022. Go look at the 22nd show, and start looking at it and use your adept emotion of empathy to let things come to you, where you can go, okay, this is what that is. Okay. So, again, crazy is, too much of a technical term. John has got some issues, that's for sure. And John is tormenting himself. John is his own worst enemy, as we all are. I know my worst enemy is me. It's not some troll or some, no. It's when I don't do what I know I should be doing. And so that's why I've died 6 times. To wake up, get back to work. So that's what it is. That's why we're here on this earth. We're here to experience, to interact with each other, to bring love to each other. E, to be there for each other, right? So John's a difficult friend to have, but it's that's why, you know, it brings value to me, to be there for him. If you can be there for a guy like for John Birmingham, then, someone once said, "You're like a saint." No, I'm not. I am your sensei, Al Bob. I'm just doing what I've been told to do. And John is one of those creatures that I was told to help out. And now I don't have, like, so this spring, summer, and fall. I've had a great spring, summer, and fall. Just really a quintessentially top-notch one, right? And so I'm happy not to be there. So I don't have the best of healthcare here, but I have enough. I don't. It took me 5 years to get the great guy, and I still have friends there that I can go sleep on somebody else's couch. I don't need to go see John. I would like to go through my stuff and take those sacred artifacts that I have left up there. I was safe with him. I thought, I put a little protection on, and it's been protected. I mean, look, that stuff has been in the, out in the rain and snow and everything, just with a tarp and a cardboard box, and it's still doing pretty good. The radio still works, the tape still works. But and he puts them on his own channel. He doesn't understand what it will do to him, and that's like a child playing with gasoline, and matches, Yep. So whenever we go, so you all have experienced the cave and how to get in the cave. We did a quick bing, bang, boom, and cave is a great access to great power, and especially if you go there with love in your heart, right? So anyone who wants to get a hold of me, get a hold of me at the Dude Awake 42 at Gmail, and I have my PayPal up there. A number of you have dropped some presents on me, and that's helped me a great deal. I really love it because I'm living on a very minimal budget. Every little bit helps. And I'd love it if you went to my xratted.blogspot.com. That's where I have writings up, and look for Griot Publishing, GRIOTTE Publishing. If you go to xrated, .blog.com, look for the Griot Publishing. That's the name of my site, right? The X-rated are the things that are on it. Of a new novel that I'm working on, and I have about a third of that new novel up there. And so you can go take a look at that. And I'd love any feedback on the Gmail. I'd love that. And anybody who's in America wants to talk on the phone, leave me your phone number on my Gmail, and I'll give you a buzz. And I'll get back to you. So I love you all. And I'll still talk. Anybody got any questions? It's 49 minutes, at about 1 hour, I will say goodbye. But if nobody has anything to ask or add, pamphleter, hey buddy. Well, stay well, everyone. I'm getting better. It's just taking longer, when you can heal other people quickly and you can't heal yourself as quickly. It's like, But I have, I'm better than I was last, Last Friday is when I started getting, there's something going on in my throat. I did that live chat and I talked for 2 hours. My throat was like, And then Saturday, I felt pretty cruddy. And Sunday, I was the cruddiest. And that's when I started working on making myself better. And, being a bag of water, all I really need to do is drink a lot of tea. So I've been doing a lot of that. Thanks for sending me the vibes, Jane. Okay. I'm going to sit here for a moment or two and receive all your love and light. No, I'm just your Sensei Alab. I've never signed on. You know, I've studied, and which is a whole different thing. Bards. Those are people I hang out with. Shaman. Those are people I hang out with. Which is not so much because there's a whole hierarchy that you have to be part of. Being a bard, being a shaman, you are responsible just for yourself. You're not part of a hierarchy. You are there to serve love's co-creation. So, I've been, asked to join many clubs, but I'm kind of like Groucho Marx, I don't know if I want to join any club that wants, me that much. Now, I've hung out within communities, like the Philosophical Society. There are a lot of great people there. But I never, did any Wiccan or non. The only ceremonies I've ever been part of have been indigenous peoples and ones that served all our relations. If it's not serving all our relations, it's not serving love's co-creation. Then, now I'm interested in studying it. I've studied everything. I think like I keep saying, my one Jones is to understand. Thank you, Robinson. And Robinson, if I ever kid you about being John Birmingham, it's so me because I'm kidding. You know, and I know you can take it. Anyway, and if you are John Birmingham, you're being John Birmingham's higher self, and that's a great thing, Robinson. And I love you, buddy. I do. I love you all. Twitchy, Jane, Fish, Candace. You know, everyone should kind of go on his channel and give him the 411 and tell him to get a life. You know, go to Texas, be with his kids. You know. Oh, you know, she's a crone and not so much a witch. You know, so. And yes, I do have friends who are witches. You know, but like I said, I don't. You know, I view them as my friends and not as a witch. You know, you know, I'm not. If they, you know, and I, you know, people are a lot of things, right? So there are a lot of circles that I used to camp out with, you know, and when we would do things that would serve all our relations and the higher um, you know, consciousness of love's co-creation, well, then I'd be there. Otherwise, no, I was not into getting into anybody's hierarchy, you know. Well, that was good. I'm glad you enjoyed my story. What'd you get out of it? You know, because all the stories I tell are shamanic frames, right? And it's there to help you get outside of your box and see the shamanic frame of all our relations, right? So, were you able to see that? Hmm. And I would suggest that you would refabrications because that's kind of what we need to do. I mean, I keep talking about the window of opportunity. You know, as of October 1st, we'll have 14 months. As December, we'll have 13 months. As January, we'll have 12 months, right, of opportunity, right? We have opportunity to change things for the better, right? And what we watch the hidden hand going through is this thing of trying to rebrand itself, just like it did at the fall of the Roman Empire, and it became the Holy Roman Empire, right? And it basically then threw humanity into 900 years of the Dark Ages, right? So we have an opportunity here to move forward rather than be thrown back into another dark age. Because, you know, you talk about end times, it ain't coming, you know. John constantly tries to blame other people. When people go on about, oh, the end time's coming and I'm going to be one of the 800,000 to go up into heaven as Jello. No, no, because time doesn't exist. We're here. We're stuck here until we can get a grip and be love's co-creation, you know? And, you know, I've died 6 times and I keep, you know, getting refabricated and come back here because, you know, my teachers on the other side say, you know, well, yeah, well, we can welcome you home, but, you know, you're just going to come right back reincarnated and God knows what you'll, you know, only Bob knows what you'll come back as. And I mean, so will you. But I mean, if you finish up what you said you were going to do coming here, then you'll be able to go on to the next, you know, ascension. No, it's not jobs. You know, it's our job to set ourselves straight, right? And we can't. An asteroid hit this place and killed everything, and you know, less than a few million years later, it was teeming with life. You know, that's the thing about Gaia. It's never gonna die. It'll be, you know, refabricated, but So, and everything in this material world is an illusion. So don't, get too hung up on any one thing or another. I'm a believer of Christ too. Christ is my main man. I see. First of all, you have to realize I don't believe in anything. What I do have is faith in love's co-creation. That's Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ is love's co-creation. You know, Jesus came here to co-create it, and Jesus didn't die and go someplace else. He's always been here. That's why we're still here. I've met Jesus many a time, right? And I'll tell you those stories. You know, Refabrication, get a hold of me on my Gmail, the dude awake 42 at Gmail. We can talk personally. Love is God. Jesus is God. However you want to, it's all semantics, it's, that's why when I write about God, how arrogant is man than to write books about God? How arrogant is man to describe what God is? How arrogant is man to go on and on and on, about you better believe this way, and to diss other religions. Religion is a business plan, and when people go on about Islam being terrible, no, it's, Islam is Christianity on steroids. I'd like to see some Christians pray 5 times a day. Take, 20 minutes out of their life, get down on their knees and pray. I'd like to see that, because Allah is God, is Bob, is love, is Jesus. I lived in North Africa a number of times, and the Muslim folk, and I, hung out with lots of different people, lots of different forms of Muslims. Indonesia, there are Muslims there, and they're way different than North Africa. But the quintessential presence in Islam, all of these folk, is the presence of love's hospitality, right? And every people I've ever met, because I was respectful, John Birmingham, on that video of him showing the YouTube world, things that are truly near and dear to my heart, and then diss them telling some stupid story, is, tantamount to ISIS blowing up the temples in Raqqa, Yeah, that's all it is. Muslims are just the other branch of Abraham. Again, because they stuck that faith into a hegemony. But when it wasn't stuck, just like Christianity is, the Holy Roman Empire is just as, adulterous as what you're talking about there. Ugar, yep. So refabrication, you're a bit of a scholar yourself, right? So that's why I say you should get a hold of me at my Gmail. We can have a more deeper discussion, right? And go look at my writings. Refabrication, you would like the stuff I write. It's right up your alley. So go to that xratted.blogspot.com. And remember, everything I write is a metaphor. It's almost inside out, sideways, upside down. I try to put it in a place where I have a lot of friends who are publishers, big time publishers, right? And they read, what are you writing now, Al? And I give it to them and they read it. And this one guy, he goes, Al, you're like James Joyce on acid. And I said, well, thank you. That's a compliment. And he goes, I had to read your stuff 6 times before I knew what you're talking about. And I said, well, that's why I wrote it that way. If I made it simple, you would just blow through it and you'd get nothing out of it. You read it 6 times and you now realize that I'm James Joyce on acid, So, okay, buddy. I look forward to seeing your email. I have to go to the doctor in a few minutes, so I'm gonna sling blade out of here. And tomorrow being Saturday, if it's not raining too hard, I'll try to hang up a YouTube to you, so we can talk more about this. Okay. I love you all. Stay well. Be good. I'm going to wait till we get to a few more seconds from now to get a good shamanic place to jump off. So keep sending me that good positive energy, so I'll get better, quicker. I mean, I'm on the mend. I'm on the upswing, but it's like when you're going up, it's like you know. And the one good thing about being as old as I am is that it makes you appreciate being well. You don't take anything for granted, right? And that's a great thing. Every one of you folk out there should stop taking all the great things in your life for granted. Okay? I love you guys. Yep, it's a good month. See you later. Have a good day.